So just like in the real world, our wireframes are about to change to add something that was missing. So if we jump over to our wireframe directory inside of our resource pack and we open up blog homepage2.png, we see the difference here, which if we scroll down, is that we now have written by Jones on, and then the date that it was written on. So what we're going to need to do here involves pulling together a number of techniques that we've learned about views. We'll need to rewrite the content and either use a hidden field or display these fields inline. Now this is something that you should be able to do at this point, so feel free to go ahead and give it a shot, but we're going to dive in and make it happen. Okay, so I'm going to jump back to our view edit page, and let's begin by adding the username field. Now as you may suspect, just like in our previous views examples, we don't have the username field available to us. If we click add and we do a search for username, you see we only have the author UID. Now this is because we need to establish a relationship to the author in order to pull in the fields about them. So we'll click advanced, we'll go to relationships and click add, and let's do a search for user. Okay, so content author is the one we want. We'll check that, we'll click apply all displays. For the identifier, we'll go ahead and use author, but I'll capitalize it, and we'll require the relationship. There's really not going to be a piece of content without an author anyways, and because we are displaying some content about the user, we want to make sure that the relationship exists. Otherwise, our rewritten content would look a little bit strange. Okay, I'll click apply all displays, and now if we go to fields and click add, and we do a search for user, you see we have many other options here, including, if we scroll down, the username. So let's check that and click apply all displays. The relationship is already set for us. We'll uncheck create a label, we don't need that. And we'll uncheck link this field to its user. Eventually we'll probably add this back in as we develop the profile for the user, but in our wireframes it doesn't show a link. So what we'll do is display this as plain text. Now if we jump back to the wireframe, we have some different options for how we're going to render this. So we could, for example, rewrite the username to say written by, and then as a substitution, add the username into it. And that would take care of this part here on the left. To take care of the on and then the date, we could do one of two things. We could add a field for the date and rewrite it to say on and then the date, and then display both fields in line with one another so they display next to each other, just like they do here. The alternative would be to add the date as a hidden field and then use it as part of the rewriting of the username field so we can include two substitutions, one for the name and one for the date. And that's the route we're going to take here.